Hello everyone, this is Danebo. I'm the creator of The Annoying Orange. Today I just wanted to show off this really cool video I found, maybe do a little bit of commentary on it. I actually made it myself. It's called Resist Mario. I just wanted to give a bit of thoughts on this as the creator of this video. Now, to start us off with this video, I think I had gotten the idea a very long time ago when I had made that doodle in the thumbnail. The idea just kind of came to me afterwards. I was kind of just brainstorming, like, what kind of situation would become of a parody of the original video. And so it kind of just came along. It definitely changed a lot as I actually made it. Now, before we start, I just wanted to give a little insight on that. So originally, it was going to have a bit more of a serious tone. Now and then, because it's not all just fun and games and laughter. And now and then I like to throw in a bit more of an emotional edge, if you will. And so this was going to be one of those videos where, the comedy element is always going to be there, but this in particular was going to be one of the more serious videos, just kind of touching on the dynamic between this married couple and all the issues they go through. But as I was making it, I found myself having a lot more fun with the more comedic elements. I kind of just found myself on a way with the jokes I was throwing in there, and so I thought, might as well just make it one of the more silly videos. It's gotten quite the reception on YouTube as well. 47,000 views were halfway to 100,000. It's already my most popular story video, if I'm correct. Shot me up to 10,000 subscribers. I'm very thankful for that. Thank each and every one of you. There will definitely be something special coming up to that. But until then, let's just get on with this commentary track. So I believe this will be the first time I've shown the living situation of these two, at least. Yes, they very much are a married couple. I was hoping to establish that a little sooner, just to avoid any confusion. As you can see, they got the little wedding photo in the back. Got a little toaster back here. Of course, they had to throw that in. I think I've only seen one person so far point out the reference of the t-shirt back here. Shout out to you.
Yeah, that joke gets funnier every day, hon.
I think of them as that old,
Love you.
middle-aged,
Love you
married
too.
couple. They're kind of like at each other's throats constantly, but they really do love each other. And so now here we have this man going out on an average day of work. Not really a lot to say about this sequence other than I made that music myself. I definitely love playing around with this scene. It was originally just going to be an exterior shot of the castle with not much going on, but then I thought that would get boring. So I made the castle kind of bounce around as they were kind of yelling at each other. And yes, Zelda was sleeping outside. Don't ask why, she just kind of does that. And the music in the background would be from the Shock Fusion collab on Caesar Gunner. I think I mentioned it before, but Ushram is definitely like second fiddle to Morshu, and that's something that bugs him, but he is very much still a greedy bastard. This scene is a little bit of a remnant of how this video was going to have a bit more of a serious tone. At first, it's going to be a little more of a scene of them making a deep connection, but I think it'd just make it a little more lighthearted for the final video.
The wife is probably waiting on me.
Are you sure you don't want to hear about when my girlfriend and I had a weird dream?
Yes, that is
Okay, sure.
what occurred in the story video before this one.
I'm sure.
Hey, I'm home. Hey, Princess!
So that music in the background here is just a royalty-free track I had found in the YouTube audio library, but
You're a real
there's a little bit of a deeper meaning as to why I used it. And if you understand why, you're a bit of a naughty boy, I'll tell you that much. Another one I didn't see a whole lot of people pointing out the joke to, the reference. I was having a little more fun doing these sort of like Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob style close-up gags of just these like absolutely hideous looking renders of these characters. Definitely a running gag I want to move on with going forward.
I once ate an entire rotisserie chicken by myself.
Shout out to those of you who have seen Cheap in the Big City. That's a very obscure Cartoon Network show that I don't see very many people talking about nowadays, including the studio themselves, not to make this a big ramble, but
I once ate a whole roasted chicken by myself.
I do draw some inspiration from that.
Now we can get to work. Yay!
Don't do that.
So I've seen some people kind of praising the scene on Twitter the other day. I really do appreciate seeing people making posts about my videos. Feel free to do whatever, draw whatever fan art, post whatever scenes you want online. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I love it when people do that, and I very much appreciate it. As for this scene, I either see people say, wow, that sentence mixing was very flawless, that sounded so natural, and I see another crowd of people going, oh, that was AI, that's a AI voice right there. You would both be wrong. I sampled that off of a clip of Mark Brown, the voice actor from Mario and Luigi in this game. He was speaking to a fan in his Mario voice, and he had said that exact line, and I figured it would go pretty well here.
Don't worry about going blind when with all that stuff you could do. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Along with that, this joke is entirely lifted from a whole different source material that I haven't seen anyone point out either, and I don't expect it to. It's not a super memorable joke.
It probably ain't what they're expecting, but we still got these. Yay!
Don't do that.
Apparently it was memorable to me, though.
Alright, so now for the agenda.
I think this is one of the most subtle gags in the video. In the original game, there's a piece of wood here that has the words Club Koopa on it, implying that they had put a wooden board over the Mushroom Kingdom sign. And so, instead of taking that down, their solution was to put another wooden board over that one that says Mushroom Kingdom. I thought that would be really funny.
And then
So
we
of
have
course
a
this
flood
is made to
disaster
just
at
kind of
Norway
reflect
Place
the
in
scene
Gamelon,
in
which
the
should
original
take a
game
few
where you have
hours.
Mario
Let's
reading
go
the
now
letter.
because-
That's not going over no one's head.
What makes you think there's a problem?
Again, with me low my close-up gags in
Let's
this
take a
one. Now, here's one I didn't expect to see a whole lot of people pointing out. This is the first date music from the movie WALL-E, composed by Thomas Newman, I believe. A little fun fact. Right there, when he puts that metal plate down on the table, I couldn't find a sound effect for that. So I literally just went to my kitchen and put a metal plate against my table and sampled that audio. I figure that's a very standard practice for making your sound effects, but before this, I had only used sound effects that I found online, and it seemed like such a no-brainer to kind of just make any sound effects that I couldn't find online myself, but the idea, for whatever reason, never occurred to me before this video, despite that being the most obvious choice you could make. So in this scene, it's just kind of to show that there's nothing getting through to Mario here, no matter what they try to do to cheer him up, even with his favorite food. That wouldn't do much for him. Just making people uncomfortable.
It's more like a 29-year-old fat plumber coming to terms.
They're being very harsh here, talking about him like he's not even there.
School's just not putting it out at home.
And I think it was definitely that comment about Toadstool that kind of pushed him over the edge. Yeah, as I said near the beginning, he really does love his wife, no matter what it may seem. Even though he spends this entire episode really angry at her, he's never been the type to be very dismissive about what his wife wants. They married each other for a reason.
He got so mad he materialized a car.
Me and my meta humor too.
What are you doing?
Was it something I said?
That's another reference to a different piece of source material. All of my classic YouTube friends should know this one.
Was it something I said?
Somewhat of an obscure line to pick from, but that's where I lifted that line from.
Jeepers creepers.
And for that, I was kind of just thinking, what's the stupidest thing they could say in that moment that communicates, oh my goodness, we're about to die. It's so unserious in that moment where it's supposed to be a lot more dire than it really is. All I'm doing is explaining the joke to y'all at this point. And that would be the One Winged Angel Hotel Mario cover by Madinstance on the Siva Gunner channel. I've done my fair share of rips for Siva Gunner, but I could never do anything to this scale, so shout out to Madinstance, madly talented ripper. They reached out to me after I had posted this video. They had a lot of nice words to say, and I felt a little guilty for not initially linking to the rip in the description, so I made sure to add that afterwards. Definitely go check that out. It's a lot more extensive than what you get to hear in this video, and it's extremely well done. Shout out to you, Madinstance, if you're somehow listening to this. Ran right past his cart to go grab Ushron's table. Of course, that's supposed to be a bit of a misdirection gag, but I also like to think of it as them being angry and kind of seizing the moment to get some revenge on Ushron for the way he treated them earlier.
Luigi.
I'm coming for you, brother.
He almost had a very naughty word there. I really like the way this shot turned out. Kind of a Lucia God type of speech he's given here. Another one that was lifted from a different source material. Seen a few people point it out.
Really, Mario? no intention for one night.
That's who Luigi was reaching out to on the phone, and she got them miraculously quick. Just in the nick of time, I should say. Kind of saved their lives there.
Be
Right here, I'm
warned,
just kind
I
of
can
thinking,
fill
like,
myself
what
this
would
last
a
straw,
very
but I always
angry
come back
wife
for
say to
more
her
wine, I
husband
always
after
come back
he's
for more.
fucking up
Ah.
and upsetting her?
What do you have to say for yourself?
And of
I'm
course,
sorry. Honor me
they
now
just
and
can't
again.
stay mad at each
I
other.
already
They really
noticed in the
do
past minute. You
love
were
each
lying.
other at the end of the day.
Give me that chicken.
Another happy ending.
And that's another forced reference there.
Another happy ending.
Me and my referential humor, I can't get enough of that stuff. A few more of the little subtle details I haven't seen anyone comment on, I just wanted to point out. You can kind of hear them. It's a little low in the scene, but they pissed themselves after this. You very, very vaguely hear it, but it's in there. And at the scene where she's reading the agenda, she says this.
And then we have a flooded restroom at Water Lady's place in Gamelon, which should take a few hours. So let's go now because we're already behind the schedule.
So two things. First off, when she finishes this
Behind the
sentence,
schedule.
she stays silent for like 3 whole seconds, which is just kind of a play on the very long gaps of silence in the original cutscenes. But she also says that they have to fix a flood at Water Lady's house, which should take them a few hours. And later on, when they actually make it to Water Lady's house, the flood is shown to be just this giant wave of water washing up on these rocks. That's essentially the reason they said it would take them a few hours, because her house is just this big clump of rocks next to a beach. There's naturally going to be a bunch of waves on a shore like this, so the expectation for them was astronomically high for something that was just very naturally occurring in this climate. I think that would be all there is to say about this. I've seen people comment about wanting some of the music that I made for this, like the ringtone at the beginning or the Wally music from the montage. I'll definitely be uploading them on their own to this channel. This is where I'm going to just kind of throw all my extras on to, along with this commentary, so I guess I'll see you around when that happens. Thanks for listening.